Bonjour tout le monde. This is the French guy representing Voyage Francaise, and I'm still continuing with my uploads concerning strategies of passing the DELF A1 exam. For this specific video upload, I'm still continuing with the section of production orale, which is the speaking part that definitely has different sections as well that relate to you, the student, speaking and actually applying questions, or rather asking questions to the examiner, questions or sections that also relate to the examiner asking questions. And more specifically for this upload, I want to speak concerning échange d'information, exchange of information that takes place between the student and the examiner. Now, for this part of the exam, the candidate or you who is writing, you do have the possibility of you may have the possibility of choosing some of the things that you may want to speak about, or the privilege to choose certain topics that you're going to speak about, whether you're going to pick a card or you're going to be given a platform for you to choose a certain topic to ask about. And for this part of the exam, there are actually one or two strategies that will definitely assist you to be able to pose questions over the topic that you've chosen. Now, the first thing that I would like to mention is this. Whenever you or the candidate is choosing a topic or that you're going to be posing questions to the examiner, the most important thing that I'm sure you are aware of is choose a topic that you are sure concerning asking questions about. I'd like to give examples so that it also gets clear. Let's say you're given several topics, and some of them include, let's say, pets, or family, or activities that you enjoy, or speaking about a certain part of the country or certain part of the world. Always choose a topic that you're positive that you would be able to pose questions. Or rather, I may say again that choose a topic that may contain a variety of simple questions. One of the greatest challenges that students face, especially the A1, because it's the first French exam that they usually have, is that they tend to think a lot. And it's essential for you to understand that one of the ways that you are able to think less is when you put yourself in a setup that allows you to speak with words or verbs that you're so familiar with. So, for example, let's say, as I said before, let's say you have the topic of talking about family, activities, or food you like. I'm going to give an example and say, let's say I would want to talk about my family. I know that I would be able to ask questions that that relate to asking about the age of family members, or me posing questions to the examiner, posing questions that relate to how many siblings they may have, or what their parents are doing, or the job that the siblings are doing, or the job that the brother or the sister is doing, etc. That's the topic that I would choose, for example, because I know that that's a very easy topic to actually talk about, and because I know that the verbs that I would also use whilst choosing this topic would be verbs that are not so difficult to speak about, or that these would be verbs that would be so easy to use. So the first strategy or point to note is that for échange d'information, the section of the oral part that you have to be posing questions to the examiner is always choose a topic that you are positive you are able to use vocabulary or verbs that you are familiar with, and that you are so positive that you are able to formulate questions with. At the same time, I would like you to know that always try to using minimum words. Always try to use less words in whatever thing that you're going to speak, because at times, and actually most of the time, the less the words that you use, it basically means that the more direct the question you pose is going to be, and there's a higher possibility that you're going to make mistakes, because you're simply going to speak as direct as possible or rather, let me say, you are going to ask questions as directly and as simple as possible. The most important thing that, which I've said in this video and in previous videos, is that A1, the main objective of A1 is to show that you understand French. You have a basic understanding of French. And the examiner wants to see that you are able to ask questions. And it is not based upon the length of the sentence or or how you choose words that may be complicated. It's simply a platform, or it's a test of showing that you are a basic speaker of French, you know how to pose questions, and all of these is not determined necessarily by how long the question I ask is going to be. If you are very confident that you are able to pose questions despite the length, that's still fine. But for the average person, it is so essential for you to be aware that the objective is for you to be able to show that you understand French and that you are able to pose questions. So this is the most important strategy that I'm sharing concerning the section which may come for échange d'information. And as I said in my previous video as well, think in French. The more that you're able to think in French, it means the less you are able, it means the less you're going to take time translating sentences from English to French in your mind. But you will definitely be able to pose more questions with the topic that you are already familiar with, which will then give you more confidence as you ask questions to the examiner. And even if the examiner may think of asking a question, well, just be aware that the more you set the pace of the conversation with things that you're familiar with, the more you are going to determine the response that the examiner is going to give to your questions, and at the same time, whatever response that they will give, chances are they will use verbs that you have already used in the question that you have given them. Now, this is good because it is also going to give you confidence concerning the next question you may pose, because next questions that you may pose may actually come from questions that you may have already set in your mind, or your questions will come from the verbs or the responses that the examiner has already given. So in summary, we are saying that the more you pose questions with the verbs you are familiar with, the greater the possibility that the examiner is going to ask questions using the same verbs, which will then assist you in the next questions that you are going to pose to the examiner. So do your best to keep it simple, but most importantly, please do keep revising past exam papers, as it will give you bonus and confidence in all of the questions and sections of the exam. The more you're familiar with the exam setup, the more you will see that by the time the exam day comes, you will definitely excel. Keep watch, please. And keep your eyes open for the next uploads that are coming on the Voyage Francaise page on YouTube, especially concerning exams, as the exam period is actually coming since we are in the month of May. So stay tuned to the channel. Merci beaucoup.